So this next trig question is a little bit of a weird one. In the question, instead of asking us to find the value of theta, it asks us to find the value of sine theta. Instead of giving us a range like this, it tells us that theta is an obtuse angle, and it's given us the value of cos. So it gives us the value of cos here, and it asks us to find sine. And we know a trig identity that links cos and sine. We know that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. So we can sub in our value of cos. Minus 3 over 5 squared equals 1. Because we know that this cos squared is just take your cos and square it. So this gives me sine squared theta is 1 minus, if I square this I get 9 over 25, which is 16 over 25. So I know that sine theta, by square rooting this, is plus or minus 4 over 5. Plus or minus means we have two different possible answers, but only one of them is correct. What we need to do now is refer back to this, which tells us that theta is an obtuse angle. If you miss this in the question, you're really going to struggle. So if we draw ourselves a sine wave, 90, 180, 360. If I put on my obtuse angles, that's this lot in here. Because obtuse angles, anything up to 90 is acute, anything after 180 is reflex. We know that sine, this graph here, is always positive for acute angles, as obtuse sine theta is plus 4 over 5. You don't need to write the plus, but we need to make sure the minus isn't being considered anymore. When we come to make tan theta is sine theta over cos theta, which is 4 over 5 over minus 3 over 5, which is minus 4 over 3. If you want to check that you've got this entire question correct, you can have a very, very quick look at a tan graph. The obtuse angles for tan are in here. Here's 90, here's 180. Let's label those on. And the value that we've got here is negative down here, which is what we have. So we've got all the minus signs correct in this question. For part B is a slightly more traditional trig question in that they've given us, find all the solutions, they've given us an interval to look in, and they've given us tan theta equals 3 sine theta. Tan theta is 3 sine theta, and we're not less than equal theta less than no equals 360. So there's only an equals for the bottom one, there's no equals on the top. In order to solve this, we're going to break up tan into sine theta over cos theta is 3 sine theta. What we're going to do, like when we do any kind of solving, the first step we're going to do is to take everything to one side, and then we're going to try and factorize. In fact, before we even do this, let's get rid of the fractions, let's multiply up. So we have sine theta is 3 sine theta cos theta. Take it all over to one side, let's go for 0. 3 sine theta cos theta minus sine theta. This we can then factorize. 3 cos theta minus 1 sine theta, because there's a sine theta in both of these two things. You can put this at the start or at the end. Doesn't make a difference if they're multiplied. This gives us that 3 cos theta minus 1 equals 0. So cos theta equals 1/3. And this one gives us sine theta equals 0. And we've still got to solve these. Just a very, very quick aside for why we don't cancel the sign here and here. If you have x squared minus x equals 0, If you cancel the x's, you end up with x equals 1. If you factorise it, you end up with x minus 1 equals 0. You get x is 0 or x is 1. You have to be really careful with cancelling stuff from both sides of an equation, that you don't lose one of your answers. Because here, if we cancel x, we end up with just one answer. If we solve it properly, we get some other answers. This sometimes makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on, but for here we have to make sure we don't cancel sign in both of these. When we get down to here, we've got some solutions that need to be done. Sine theta equals 0 if I draw myself a sine wave. We can see we've got a 0 here, and here, and here. But this 0 here is actually outside of our range because there's no equals for the 360. So here we have theta is 0 and 180. For this one, I'm going to put a cos wave over here. Equals a third. We've got a solution there and a solution here. If we grab our calculator and do shift cos for cos minus 1, 1/3. We get an answer of 70.53. So we know that this little bit of graph here represents 70.53 degrees. It's exactly the same here, so our other answer is going to be 360. 360. Take away ants, which is our 75, so our 70.53, which gives us 289, or 289.5. And that's our 4 answers, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't count 360 because it's not part of our range, there's no equals on here in the question.